The question, square of rectangles. So Aryan is an ardent lover of squares but a hater of rectangles. But Harshit likes to mess with Aryan. Harshit gives Aryan three rectangles of sizes L1 cross B1, L2 cross B2 and L3 cross B3 such that L3 is less than equal to L2 is less than equal to L1, and same for B3 is less than equal to B2 and less than equal to B1. And in order to fit Harshit decides to arrange these three rectangles to form a square such that no two rectangles overlap and the squares are aligned along the edges. Rotating rectangles is not allowed, so we have to tell if Aryan determine if he can defeat Harshit. So basically in this question it's given that we are given L1, L2, L3 and B1, B2 and B3. These are the dimensions of the three rectangles that are given. Okay, and L1 is greater than equal to L2 is greater than equal to L3 but less than equal to L1. Okay, and B1 is greater than equal to B2. B3 is greater than is less than equal to B2. Okay, so this is the condition how it's given, and we have to check that if we can make square from these possible given rectangles or not. Three rectangles are given, so we have to make a square from it, right? And if it is possible we have to output yes, if it's not we have to output no. So let's see the second test case. It's 5 and 3, L1 and L2, L1 and L2 and 5 1 is L1 and B1 and L2 and B2 and L3 and B3 is 5 and 1. Okay, so basically the rectangle L1 and B1 would be of this 1 2 3. 3 is the breadth and 1 2 3 4 5 it would be the length of the first rectangle. Now length of the second rectangle is 5 only, it's 5, and breadth is 1, so 1 here, and another rectangle length is 5 and breadth is 1. So let's check if this is formed a square or not, because we have to arrange all these rectangles in such a way that a square is formed. So a square has all its sides equal. Okay, so if this is A, this is A and this is A, so we have to make all the dimensions equal. Here we can arrange it like this because length is 5, so we arranged it here such that length is 5 and breadth is 1 and length is 5 and breadth is 1. Okay, if we arranged it here, then 5 and 5 the length would exceed and we cannot rotate the rectangles or anything else. We just have to arrange it horizontally or vertically, in a horizontal manner or in a vertical manner, right? So this cannot be done, so this can be done. Okay, let's check if all the dimensions are equal or not. So length, this side is equal, it's 5, this is also equal, it's 5, and this is 3 plus 1 plus 1, this is also 5. Okay, so a square can be formed because B1 plus B2 plus B3 is equals to L1, which is equals to L2 and which is equals to L3. So that is how we would arrange all the rectangles. Okay, so with the help of this case, we know one thing, one way in which the rectangles can be arranged, and that is vertically. So this is case 1, vertically, when L1 is equals to L2 is equals to L3. Right, now we have to check if B1 plus B2 plus B3 is equals to L1 or not. If it is equal, then a square can be formed, otherwise not. So this is case 1 when we arrange the rectangles, the 3 rectangles, in this manner. So this was the first case, how can we arrange the rectangles. The second case would be to arrange the rectangles in a vertical manner only, but the length are not equal. So we can arrange them like this. So in this case, this would be L1, this would be B1, this would be L2, this would be L3, and this would be B2, and this would be 3. So what are the conditions that are going to be true here? So first condition would be L1 must be equal to L2 plus L3, right, so that these sides are equal. Okay, let's take this side. For the other side, B1 plus B2 must be equal to L1, right, and for it to happen, B2 must also be equal to B3, because it won't work if one breadth or breadth of one rectangle is unequal to the breadth of the other. So B2 must be equal to B3. So these 3 conditions should be there for the second case. Now let's see the third case. How can we arrange the rectangles? This would be the first rectangle, and this would be the second rectangle, and this would be the third rectangle. So horizontally the rectangles are placed. Now this would be B1, this would be L1, this would be L2 and L3 respectively. This is B1 and this is B2. So what conditions must be true in order to form a square from these rectangles? L1 plus L2 must be equal to B1. Okay, now another thing, L2 must be equal to L3, L2 must be equal to L3, otherwise one of the lengths is going to be greater, so the square won't be formed. Okay, now we have made equal these sides and these sides. Now we have to take care of one more thing, that the addition of the breadths must also be equal to B1. So third condition is B1 is equals to B2 plus B3. So this is the third case, how we would arrange the rectangle. Now the fourth case, how we are going to arrange the rectangles. This is the first rectangle, this is the second rectangle, and this is the third rectangle. So they all are placed horizontally one after the other. So this is going to be L1, this is going to be L2 because the rectangles can't be rotated, and this is going to be L3. This is B1, this is B2, and this is B3. So what is the first condition? What would be the first condition? Is that B1 must be equal to B2 must be equal to B3. So this is going to be the first side of the square. Second thing is L1 plus L2 plus L3 must be equal to B1. So that would ensure that both of these sides are equal. Third test case on all these conditions. So L1 and B1 is 2 and 3, L2 and B2 is 1 and 2, and L3 and B3 is 1 and 1. Okay, so let's check it. Let's check the first condition. L1 is equals to L2 is equals to L3. This is L and this is B. L1 is not equal to L2 and not equal to L3, so this is condition is false. Let's check it on the another condition. L1 is equals to L2 plus L3. L is equals to L2 plus L3. Yes, this condition is true. B1 plus B2 is equals to L. Let's check. B1 plus B2 is equals to L1. So no, B1 and B2 is not equal to B1 plus B2 is not equal to L1. So this condition is false. Now let's check another condition. L1 plus L2 is equals to B1. 2 plus 1 is equals to B1. Yes, so it is true. L2 is equals to L3. Yes, L2 is equals to L3. B1 is equals to B2 plus B3. And B1 is equals to B2 plus B3. So all these conditions are satisfied. Hence, a square would be able to form from all these rectangles. So the output is yes in this case. Now let's see the code for this question. So these are the number of test cases. Test cases are being entered, and for all the test cases the function solve would be called. Now we declare L1, B1, L2, B2 and L3, B3. We enter L1, B1, L2, B2 and L3, B3. Now we check the condition. We check the first condition. If L1 is equals to L2 is equals to L3, and if B1 plus B2 plus B3 is equals to L1. So we check if the rectangle satisfies the first orientation. Next we check if not satisfied, we check another case, which would be if L1 is equals to L2 plus L3, L1 is equals to L2 plus L3, and B2 is equals to B3, 2 is equals to B3, and B1 plus B2 is equals to L1, then see out yes. Else, if this condition is not satisfied, we check another condition, this orientation of the rectangles. If L2 is equals to L3 and B2 plus B3 is equals to B1 and L1 plus L2 is equals to B1, all these three conditions, then we see out yes. Else we move on to the other orientation, which is if B1 is equals to B2 and B2 is equals to B3, that means all breadth are equal, and L1 plus L2 plus L3 is equals to B1, as we can see here, then we see out yes. Else we see out no, and we return. So if the rectangles don't follow any of these conditions, the output would be no. So I hope you understood the solution to this problem, and thank you. If you have any doubts, you can leave in the comment section.